Good morning, dear children. We are doing the topic reproductive health. So, today we are going to learn about the MTPs, sexually transmitted diseases, and also assisted reproductive technology. Let us see the first one, MTP. What is meant by MTP? MTP means medical termination of pregnancy. Medical termination of pregnancy. So, what is medical termination of pregnancy means? It is induced abortion before completion of gestation period. Okay, so it is an induced abortion before the completion of gestation period. Gestation period means intrauterine period where the fetus develops in the womb of the mother up to 9 months. Okay, so before the fetus is fully grown, they are removed. The fetus is removed. That is called as induced abortion. Right. So medical termination of pregnancies, MTPs, are legalized in India in the year 1971. Okay, MTPs are legalized in the year 1971. So why they are legalized in the year why they are legalized means to prevent female feticides. So people, if they come to know about the sex of the fetus, and if they come to know it is a female fetus, they used to get aborted. So to prevent such a type of things, the government of India legalized the medical termination of the pregnancy in the year 1971. Then Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act came in the year 2017. So what is this Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act? The Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act is that MTPs are safe up to 12 weeks of pregnancy or first trimester. Right? If a woman want to go induced abortion before 12 weeks of pregnancy, that is before 3 months of pregnancy, the 3 months of pregnancy or 12 weeks of pregnancy is called as first trimester. Okay, so in the first trimester it is safe and it should be done by the advice of one medical practitioner. Remember that. So if abortion should be done before 12 weeks of pregnancy, one medical practitioner advice is essential, because there are many ways to abort the fetus. By simply giving medical termination of pregnancy means there are some pills. The pills also induces the abortion. So it should be done under the supervision of a medical practitioner, because by taking pill, if abortion takes place, lot of more bleeding occurs. So it is not safe for the woman. So a doctor should be there while aborting a fetus by a pill, right? Otherwise, through surgical methods, they remove the fetus by DNC method. Okay, then if MTPs are done before 24 weeks, that is 6 months, or before second trimester, if MTP should be done before 24 weeks or second trimester or before 6 months. Why before 24 weeks or second trimester the abortion should be done means, if the fetus is having some abnormalities, due to that fetus the mother's life is in danger, right? Then these abortions can be done. So in such a type of abortions, there should be two medical practitioners' advice. So the advice of under the advice of two medical practitioners, abortion can be done to a woman who is having pregnancy of 24 weeks, right? So how many abortions are done in throughout the world means throughout the world around 40 to 50 million MTPs are done per year. That is one fifth of conceived one fifth of conceived people are undergoing abortions, right? Then who can undergo abortion means abortions can be done to a woman or to a woman who is conceived due to casual and unprotected sex, right? If a couple are having a child, immediately the woman conceives again to have a space, they can go for an abortion. Or if a child is born with abnormalities, or if a woman conceives due to rape, then they can go for medical termination of pregnancies. So this is about the medical termination of pregnancy. Now let us go for the next one, sexually transmitted diseases. So next topic is sexually transmitted diseases or sexually transmitted infections, right? So diseases which are transmitted through sexual contact, or diseases which are transmitted through sexual intercourse are called as sexually transmitted diseases or sexually transmitted infections or reproductive tract infections or venereal diseases. There are many names. So sexually transmitted infection, reproductive tract infection or venereal diseases Let us see some of the diseases names. So let us see some of them. Gonorrhea, syphilis, I think it is a falling light, chlamydiasis, okay, then genital herpes, genital warts, trichomoniasis, hepatitis B, and HIV. Okay, so these are the diseases which are transmitted sexually. Gonorrhea is transmitted by Neisseria gonorrhea. Syphilis is transmitted by Treponema palladium. Syphilis is transmitted by Treponema palladium. Chlamydiasis is transmitted by Chlamydia. Genital herpes, herpes simplex virus. Genital warts, human papilloma virus. Trichomoniasis, Trichomonias vaginalis. So hepatitis B means hepatitis B virus. HIV means human immunovirus. Okay. So chlamydia is spread by Chlamydia trachomatis. So if we see these first two are bacterial. Remember that. It is very important. Which of the following are the bacterial diseases? Okay. First two are the bacterial and these two are viral. This is flagellated protozoan and these are also virus, and this one also protozoa, right? So these are the diseases. So gonorrhea, syphilis are caused by bacteria, chlamydiasis, protozoan, genital herpes and genital warts are caused by virus, and trichomoniasis is caused by Trichomonias vaginalis. It is a protozoan flagellate, and hepatitis B and hepatitis HIV are caused by viruses. Then what are the symptoms? Okay, let us see the symptoms now. Right. So what are common mild symptoms? Common mild symptoms includes mild pain, itching, fluid discharge, and swelling in the genital areas. Right? So initial symptoms includes mild pain in the genital area, itching, fluid discharge and swelling in the genital areas. But in some cases, especially in the women, these symptoms are not at all seen, but the disease going on accumulating in them. Then, if they are if untreated in women, that means if these sexually transmitted diseases are untreated in the woman, because in the woman the symptoms are not seen immediately. So when the germs are accumulating, when the bacteria is accumulating, virus is accumulating more and more, it shows symptoms like pelvic inflammatory disease. We can see symptoms like pelvic inflammatory disease, ectopic pregnancies, that means the pregnancies occurs in the fallopian tubes, stillbirth means the babies are born, when they are born they will die, the babies come with the dead bodies only. So the stillbirth means there is no life in the baby, so stillbirth. Then reproductive tract cancers, Then how to prevent the sexually transmitted diseases? Avoiding multiple sex partners and using of condoms. So people should avoid multiple sex partners. That means they should not have more sex partners. If they are having more sex partners, there is a chance of getting sexually transmitted diseases. They should have only one sex partner in their life. And use of condoms. So whenever they are participating in the sexual intercourse, they should use condoms there so that the sexually transmitted diseases can be prevented. Then which of the diseases are curable means, if you see here, all the diseases are curable. Except there are some diseases which are not curable, except genital herpes. So in genital herpes there is no cure, HIV and hepatitis B. Right? These diseases are not at all curable. Remaining all the diseases are curable. So very important. So this one is very important objective question. Which of the diseases are not curable? Very important question. And the symptoms, if untreated, is also very important question. And this is also very important question. Remember, the symptoms are very, very important. And the cure, the diseases. These are frequently asked question in the NEET. Which of the following diseases are not curable? So very important point, this one. Right? So this completes about the sexually transmitted diseases. Yeah, next one is infertility. So what is infertility? So it is the inability of the couple to conceive by having casual unprotected sex, right? The couple are unable to conceive or unable to have the children even though they are having unprotected sex. So what are the reasons? What are the reasons for not conceiving, or what are the reasons for not having the children? The reasons might be physical, that means they may not be physically fit, or the reasons might be psychological, or the reasons might be congenital, that means genetics, or they may have diseases, or they might be drug abusers. Okay, if they are taking some drugs, they are unable to conceive, right? So in India, most oftenly women are blamed for not conceiving, right? So in India, if a newly married couple are there, so they see for a few months, if the woman is not conceiving, they blame that the woman is not suitable for to have the children. But actual problem lies in the males also, right? So actual problem lies in the male. So the woman might be right, but the male is not having the capability to conceive her. There might be many reasons for that. So, but we often blame only the woman, for not conceiving. So, healthcare units and infertility clinics. So, healthcare units and infertility clinics treat these couple and help them to conceive naturally. So, let us see what is meant by ART then. Assisted reproductive technology. So that is popularly called as ART. What is that? If the couple fails to conceive naturally, then they take special techniques to conceive by artificial methods. So that is called as assisted reproductive technology. So they take the help of techniques. To conceive. Right? Now let us see what are those methods. So first one is in vitro fertilization. It is called as IVF. So you might be heard these words in the fertility clinics. So what is meant by IVF? What is meant by in vitro fertilization? In vitro fertilization is popularly known as test tube baby method. If a couple may not conceive naturally, if the couple fails to conceive naturally, then what they will do? They collect sperm from husband or a donor and ova from wife or a donor, and they induce fertilization outside the body in a laboratory in simulation conditions. Right? So the fertilization is done outside the body, not within the body. So outside the female body in a laboratory in a simulation conditions means they create the conditions similar to the human female body. So what are the conditions present at the time of fertilization in the human female body? They create those conditions in the laboratory and they induce the fertilization. They make the sperm and ova to combine to form a zygote. So due to induced fertilization, what is happening? A zygote is formed. Zygote is formed. So this is called as in vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization is popularly called as test tube baby method. So fertilization which is done outside the body in a laboratory by collecting the sperm from the husband or the donor and ova from the wife or a donor, and they are mixing them to induce the fertilization outside the body in a laboratory is called as in vitro fertilization. Due to in vitro fertilization, a zygote is formed. Now let us see how these zygotes and which stages of these zygotes are transferred into the fallopian tube for further development. Let us see them. Gift. Zygote, intra-fallopian tube transfer. So already the zygote is formed through in vitro fertilization by a test tube baby method. So which stage of zygote is transferred in the zygote intra-fallopian tube transfer means embryo with 8 blastomeres. Very important question. Is transferred into fallopian tube for further development. Okay. So which stage of the zygote is transferred in the method of gift means the zygote with 8 blastomeres or the embryo with 8 blastomeres is transferred into the fallopian tube for the further development. That is called as gift. Next one. Embryo fallopian tube transfer. Embryo fallopian tube transfer means embryo with more than 8 blastomeres. Right? Embryo fallopian tube transfer means embryos with more than 8 blastomeres is transferred into the fallopian tubes. These two are similarly same only, but they will be asking like this also: embryo fallopian tube transfer and zygote intrafallopian tube transfer. So these two are very, very important question. Next one, gift. What is gift? Gamete intrafallopian tube transfer. What is meant by gift? Gift means gamete intrafallopian tube transfer. That means the woman cannot produce ova, but her uterus is suitable for fertilization and implantation. In such conditions, the ova is collected from a donor and it is introduced into the uterus of the woman for the fertilization. So that is called as gamete intrafallopian tube transfer. You understood this? So the woman is unable to produce the gametes. So what are the gametes? Female gamete means it is the ova. Then, but the uterus of the woman is suitable for what? Suitable for the, what we can say, suitable for the fertilization and also suitable for the development of the fetus. In such cases, the gamete is collected from a donor and it is introduced into the uterus of the female. Then we call this one as gamete intrafallopian tube transfer. Next one, ICSI. So this is also very, very important question. So intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So intracytoplasmic sperm injection means what? So sometimes the male partner will not have the required sperm count, or the sperm motility of the male partner is very less. or the sperms of that male partner cannot induce fertilization. In such cases, the sperm of that person, of the male partner, is collected and it is injected directly into the ovum through microscopic needle. Remember the word. Injection of the sperm into the ovum through a microscopic needle is called as intracytoplasmic sperm injection, and it is done in vitro conditions. I told you earlier, what is in vitro means? The fertilization which is done outside the body in a laboratory is called as in vitro. So the fertilization is done in vitro conditions. Very important objective question. Remember that intracytoplasmic sperm injection means injecting the sperm directly into the ovum through microscopic needle. Very important question. Right. Next one, artificial insemination. Yeah. So what is meant by artificial insemination? Artificial insemination means the male partner fails to inseminate, or the male partner will not have a required sperm count. So insemination means what? Releasing the sperm or releasing the semen into the vagina of female. That is called as insemination. So release of semen into the vagina of female is called as insemination. So if the male partner cannot inseminate, he cannot release, he cannot ejaculate the semen, and if there does not have the required sperm motility, sperm count, but the woman is capable of conceiving, then the semen is collected from the male partner or from a donor, and it is introduced into the uterus of female for further fertilization. So that is called as artificial insemination. So this completes one. Last one is there one more thing, surrogacy. So next one is surrogacy. So what is surrogacy? Surrogacy means in some cases, some women will not have suitable environment for fertilization and also for the gestation. That means the uterus is not suitable for the development of embryo. In such cases, the ovum from the woman and sperm from the husband is collected and it is fertilized in vitro conditions, and the zygote is introduced into the uterus of another woman. So this woman is called as surrogate mother, right? So surrogacy is a condition where the woman cannot conceive. That means there is a problem with fertilization, there is a problem with the development of the fetus in her womb. In such cases, surrogacy method is used. In surrogacy also they use the in vitro fertilization, and after the development of zygote, they introduce that one into the uterus of another woman for further development. So this chapter is completed. We will continue another chapter in the next class onwards, right? Have a nice day. Thank you.